Memphis, and we're at Traffic Bar Studio again. And we've got a special guest on today.
We've got Marvin Hitchman, and he's an author, first time author.
Marvin Hitchman.
Marvin Hitchman.
And just like the book, Born in Prison, How to Survive Shooting, Stabbing, Prisons, Crack Addiction, Manchester Gangs and Dog Attacks by Marvin Hitchman. What were we talking about? We linked up in it, and you kind of brought us back about like town loafing days. I want to talk about
because it was quite. I was an outsider looking in, so I was from Ancoats, and you man them were from like the ghetto ends in it. So when I was young, I used to see Moss Side man, Cheetah Mill man, all together, friends, best friends walking around, and then dance music started, and I think money came into the scene, and a bit of too much money was available to the man then wanted.
How old was you them times?
I was like 14, 15, when the rave all started. And
do you remember before that, like, did you ever go to like Leaky Fresh, like Soundgarden? Did you ever go to
I used to go to them hip hop nights in Ashton and all them places.
But you know what, bro, like sometimes when we went to, I know a lot of black, I never really went out the area, so into town or my end or Russia or shit, you know. But I know a lot of men that went out there and like they might have met a white girl or something, or they get run down by a pure white guys because like they're in them areas.
To come out of that as well, you know, I know one or two mixed race or two like children, mad areas all the way, you know what I mean? Very far away.
So let's rewind it up a little bit, Marvin. So you've written this book, which tells your life story. Now you've got an exceptional story to anybody else. And that is you were born in a prison.
You know what it is? It's not an exceptional story because everybody's got a story to tell. It's just that I was brutally honest in my book. I opened my heart to. The only reason I found out I was born in prison is because I got my mum's probation reports when she was released. So I went searching for my mum. And I went like this mad search with an adoption agency, and I was going, but because I was a drug addict, I was addicted to crack cocaine at the time.
What was the need? What was inside you? What made you think I really want to find out?
Because it's very, very difficult when you're told that it's not your real parents who are bringing you up. So my adoptive dad was a Jamaican man. He was very, very strict. You know, he used to pull his belt off or snap a bamboo fishing rod in half. Because he was Jamaican, he was all like, type attitude, you know, one of them. So he used to think that beating you was the way to go, and that's the only thing they knew.
They did back then,
And I forgive him for that, but he did affect me a lot mentally, you know, growing up, because he wasn't my dad. So when he was doing these mad things to me, when he was beating me or something, it just take out of me. I think, why is this man doing this to me, you know what I mean? Like one of my friends, he told me recently his earliest ever memory of anything, one of our neighbours, is my dad beating me. That's his first memory of anything of his childhood. And it kind of broke me. He said, the first memory I've ever got is you getting beat off your dad. I ran home crying, scared. You know, my dad was a bit hard on me, you know what I mean? And I knew I was adopted, and my adoptive mum, she used to say to me, like, you're a lost little child. And
how did you know he was adopted? Was you adopted?
She told me straight away. My mum told me straight away. So from as early as I can remember, I can remember my mum saying to me that we picked you. You know what I mean? Because you were special and you had beautiful eyes and saucer-shaped eyes and stuff like that, right? So I really felt privileged that they picked me out of an orphanage. You know what I mean? But when I started getting a bit to an age where I was being a bit rebellious, just rebelled out, you know, and I was just running away. I was running away from home, like literally thinking I'm running miles. I was running 2-3 miles and the police were bringing me home, you know what I mean? And I just was running. I didn't know what I was searching for. I was just running. And now I know it was my mum and my mum I was searching for, And what's weird is I never went searching for my dad. My dad never entered my mind, right? Very strange, and never really.
Why do you think that is, though?
I always thought, well, where was my dad in all this? You know what I mean? He's not right for leaving my mum behind. And that's what always stuck with me, you know what I mean? I always assumed that he must have been wrong for doing that, you know what I mean? And it turned out quite right, you know, I wasn't far off the mark, you know, because when I did meet him, like, he was still an active drug addict, you know, like literally 16 years older than me, still active, like blatantly. I'd been clean for like 7-8 years. It's like looking at me years ago, you know what I mean? And
what age was you when you first tried drugs?
Me, I started trying glue when I was about 8. That's what I did.
We used to do the gas as well.
Well, that's what I did next. Well, I used to put one in my sleeve and a bit of
glue. I've been guilty of that in the past.
But you know that used to kill people instantly. Some people would die of that immediately. You remember the story? Yeah, that can put a bubble in your brain, and it was true. That was butane kills kids, right? To this day, it still kills people. It's very, very dangerous.
Can the same happen just with these things are taking
the balloons? No, it's different. Yeah, that's a different type of kettle of fish.
But there's still side effects from that.
The side effects where it does your back in.
But I know people that it gets into the blood system and all that.
Yeah, so I did balloons.
But they're still taking it. They're still taking it, and they can't walk. So.
I think it will happen to them, innit?
No, that's happening. They're still taking it.
Because they're an addict. I'll tell you something.
They've gone from these little small ones
to the massive ones now.
You know this. So that means that the companies that beat are buying into this, innit?
Oh, the companies are killing them, man. They're just destroying their bodies because that stuff, when you overtake it, it does something to your spine. It weakens a part of your spine. And I believe I was affected off that because I've got a damaged spine now. And I was taking them balloons. I went through a stage of just taking loads of them. I was buying these boxes. So just like doing them every night. I
see people doing them.
And then I found myself doing them first thing in the morning. And what
so is it that addictive?
Yeah, it was that addictive and what happened.
I always thought it was just a fun thing.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you now, right, me as an ex-crack addict, that feeling is not far from the mark of a crack hit, you know, because it's so intense and immediate. There's a scale of the drugs, how addictive and how dangerous they are, and what it is how quick it hits your brain. That's how you gauge the dangerousness of drugs. So like crack hits you like in 15 seconds or something, and these ones hit you in like 5 or 6 seconds. You know what I mean? Like the spice.
Yeah, but so much gas. That's going in like pressure in it.
Yeah, it's pressurized gas going into your system at a tremendously fast speed.
Spice, brother, come on, man.
Yo, the spice.
In jail, spice, mate. Like,
I regret spice, bro.
It's crazy.
I still have the side effects of taking spice. I was addicted to spice. Like, so what happened to me in 2012 is I'm in Strange Rays and this guy's come on the wing from a cat D, been kicked out of a cat D, come parcelled up, plugged out of his head with all this spice, right? No, but he was like, he was fatted up, so everyone was like, this guy wants to And then I went in and pad on him. At dinner time, I got to his door and I just went in and shut the door. I went, bro, man, I thought you were sorting me out, man. He went, oh, I didn't know it was you waiting for me down there, you know, because I was on the ones and he was on like 4. And I ran up one day and got to him and he gave me a big ball of it like that and it lasted me till I got out. I was in a cell with a scouse who was getting parcels and he said to me, Marv, lad, don't start killing that straight away, man. You know, because he'd seen people just destroyed off it in the cell. And I was going to people's doors and they just had a joint of spice and the licks around the floor, around, having a fit, banging the and it was just insanity.
Listen, Marvin, listen to me. I'm not spoken this shit before, but I've been like, listen to me. I went to jail, I was in Risley, so I said to a kid, yo, give me a spliff and that, you get what I mean? You just a spliff, but next minute I'm looking at it thinking, it must be grinded. I don't know.
Yeah, you think it's grinded.
So anyways, next minute, I've gone in the cell now, I swear to God, I smoked a little bit of it and I think, man, this is not like, I smoked a bit more, like, it hit me. And I was paranoid because I was just like,
so the gauge there, 600 times more intense.
It's like, it's getting worse, bro, every time. I didn't know, and because I'm paranoid because I realised what it is, it's getting worse. I was going to the cell window trying to breathe in. I was like, oh God, please, I threw down the toilet. I was like, oh God, please, you see me throw down the toilet, you know that I just fucked up, please don't let me die in the cell, do you get me? Nah, not like the pops, no way, fuck that.
The man explained it like he said they were going into the grave, like they were
I can describe it, right?
I would never mess with that stuff, mate.
You
see man smoke it as well, that's normally.
You feel like you are, you've got robot bodies parts, right? So literally, once you have a few drugs and hold it in, you start getting tingles all the way up the skin. Your blood starts warming up.
That was it.
It's cooking you from the inside out, and this is what the effects are.
That's the fix. That's what it was. Oh my God!
I was trying
that was what it was, and it's getting worse.
It's not like an oven inside, and it's just there. Extremely crazy.
You have to say the next when you wake up and half an hour's gone by.
Right. I'll tell you an example of what happened to me one day. I'm in town smoking a joint of it. Bear in mind, I was an addict of it, right? from 2012 to 2014, 15, I was bad on it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm smoking a joint in town. The guy's a big African who sells umbrellas. Remember him used to walk around town selling umbrellas? And he seen me with this joint. He went, yeah, man, yo, give me some of that, man. And I said, bro, it's not weed, yeah. I said, nah, it's not weed, it's spice. And he went, I've had it before, man. I know what it is, man. I went, you don't, bro. I said, you really don't? He went, just give me one drag, man. And I said, bro, just take a little pull, you know, because it's packed. I told him I'd pack it out, yeah. My man just got greedy on his way. Took two of the biggest pulls I seen. I thought, oh my God, he's gonna go, right. So all of a sudden, he just went, started shaking and just timbered, face first and hit the floor. Listen to what happened, Some little scruffy little kid had seen it, little grafter from town, ran over and went, yeah, I'd just give him 20 quid. The ambulance and the police came and peeled £20 out of this lad's pocket and give it this lad.
You can't make it up in Manchester, can you, bro?
Nah, you couldn't make it up.
Yeah, it's just like...
The guy got carted off to hospital and this guy's going, I want me 20 quid before he goes in the ambulance. I don't care what happens on him, he's dead, I want me money. I'm just like, give my umbrella off it.
Manchester's crazy, bro.
Right on it.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
So is it still, would you say it's still the same now? Because I know it was
you know what it has done? I'll tell you what it has done. It's not so bad now on the street because the kids are kind of aware, they kind of stay away from it, but in prison it is rife, flooded, it is everywhere because it's so easy to get in.
It must be open to get through the sentence, isn't it?
Well, it is, it's a jail killer, that's what you call it, it's a jail killer. Some jails, you're banged up at 4 or 5 o'clock and you're not out till the next morning, 10, 11 o'clock, are you? You're out for 20 minutes in the morning, you bang back up. Some people are locked up 18, 22 hours a day.
So what happens if something happens to them now when they're behind the door, man?
There's hundreds dying every year in prison on spice. You can't
get to the buzzer, but they're saying it's something else because we don't hear about it.
Bro, you wouldn't understand how many ambulances going off.
I've seen it, man.
You've seen it,
You've seen it, bro, yeah.
You multiply that by every prison, you imagine how many people are falling off that spice every day. And
every minute. And this is what I said to you, even like my figure said, the screws are saying, Ras, like, like when you were smoking weed, it was nothing like that. We didn't have to go right up or nothing.
Well, they didn't mind you smoking weed because they never dumbed you down.
You know what I mean?
I remember all the way through my senses, the screws never got on you about weed. They never asked you about weed, really. They just leave you.
What is it? What is it? You don't know what it is, man.
The spice is made, it's rat poison.
Yeah.
Rat poison.
So it's like...
It's this material that's like a leaf material called marshmallow and it grows in Eastern Europe by the...
Marshmallow.
It's called marshmallow and it's just basically you can put it's a product what you can smoke or you consume and it's rent to kill rat poison what they water down and just put it in. Rent to kill rat poison. I mean they raided a spice company and all they found in the spice company was boxes and boxes of rent to kill.
Is it coming in from China?
So it's a chemical what they put in the same chemical they use in that stuff.
So why can't they ban it then? Why can't there be a ban now?
Because that's why it's so easy to get hold of. You can make it themselves. You can make it at home with household products now. Literally, you know what I mean? Like I say, that company was just using for rat poison in it.
So do you remember what was it called? That meow meow stuff.
That MCAT, I remember that.
Yeah,
so what happened was that there was a chemist, an Eastern European pharmacist, who used to be on social media and come out and he said, I want all drugs being legal and I want to release all these chemical compounds to the world. And what happened is they couldn't keep up with them, so he was banning one compound and he was making it slightly different by adding additives to it. So I come out of prison, I had nowhere to buy spice, right? I got told there was a shop in Stockport where there was a guy who sold spice. And he was a white guy with dreadlocks to the floor. He walked in, he was like frogs and everything in his shop, And at first he would not sell the spice for less than £20 for a 3 grams. In the end, he started selling me for £4 for 3 grams. Packaging is costing them more than the drug inside. So he'd give me a bag of it in a clear bag and say, Marv, I'd go in the morning, he'd say, Marv, go and test that for me, tell me what it's like. I kid you not. And I'd literally get a Rizla, put 50% spice in, 50% tobacco, and stand there and smoke this joint. And because some of the spices are slightly different, you know, like a different buzz, like not as intense, banging in the head or whatever it is. But I'd still have to hold on because they engulf your sense. I'd stand in his doorway and literally hold on. And one day, like these foreign guys, one day I'm talking to them and I've cheeked my spice, put it between my bum cheeks, bought the 3 packets, put it between my bum cheeks. but I'm not high. I'm spiced up, man, I can't feel it. And I've gone, you just stick me, you. Because these people are known to pickpocket. And I've gone, you just stick me, you. And he's gone, what? And I punched him. And the other guy was doing the punch me. I'm in the middle of Stockport Town Centre going, you just pickpocketed, man. And it caused the biggest scene Saturday morning, bare people round, yeah. And as I'm coming down, the police are there and going, he just pickpocketed me. Yeah. And I can feel the spice in my bum cheeks. You know how embarrassed I felt, bro. I was just that twisted off the spice. You know what the police done? They went, we're getting you away from this. Where'd you live? They dropped me off. They put me in the back of the van and dropped me off on the main road.
After it caused chaos for nothing.
Threw me out. You know, so like, you know, I was out one night and like, this is a few years ago, and someone had said to me like, do you want to try? I thought it was ecstasy. I don't even know why I tried it, because I don't take them drugs. And I tried this powder. I just put it on my nose, not thinking. This was about 8 years ago, and I've never ever regretted something more in my life. I froze. At first it gave me this buzz, and then all of a sudden my body shut down. I couldn't move.
And what was that, after like snorting it?
Yeah, the guy just had the key and just went, have a go at that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done it, but I did.
So what was it though?
Ketamine. And this is what happened. I'm in this big, massive nightclub in the city centre, right? A few hundred people dancing in there. The bouncers have come and got me because I froze, like that. The bouncers come and got me. They took me upstairs. There was another 20 people lying down on the floor with nurses and bouncers around them. And the staff from the club. Bro, there was like 20 people in the room.
From all the same person.
I don't know if it's the same from ketamine. That's what I mean. I was like that, right? Couldn't move. My senses was there, so I knew what was happening, but my body couldn't move. It was like that.
Okay.
And it's just like, wow, I can't believe I don't know them kids. How are they taking that madness, man? It's like a horse tranquilizer.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Freezes horses. And it freezes humans as well. It is horrendous.
Check this out. Wow, let me just wind it back a bit, yeah? So, we were talking about you grew up with your foster parents and your dad was
adoptive parents,
adoptive. So you started getting in trouble a little bit.
Was that stealing? This is what I started doing. I started stealing first as a youngster, right? So I was born in distress. I look back and I read I was born in distress, and it makes a lot of sense because I used to get my arms like this and wrap my arms around the pillow at night and bang my head off the pillow. Violently, bang, bang, and counting my head to like 1,000. And I remember, and my mum and dad's bedroom, me next to me banging on, stop banging your head. And my sister would be like, oh, it puts me to sleep at night. So I'm banging my head violently. That is not right, is it? A child doing that, right? And I'd go to sleep and I'd have this dream that I was mopping the floor with my mum. We had this yellow lino in the kitchen, but I was weeing the bed. And I'd wee the bed and wake up, and my dad didn't know how to deal with it. He beat me to try and beat it out of me. And I can remember my dad one time getting my face and rubbing my face in the wee to try and stop me weeing the bed.
That's what you do to a dog.
And it wasn't very nice, you know. I know, and that's what you do to a dog. And that it wasn't nice at all. Pulling my mind later in life, and he kind of feigned ignorance, you know what I mean?
You know what? Saying all that with Marvin, like people need to, a lot of men need to realise that, you know, the little man that was a little man when he was small, he gets to be a big man. He never forgets what he done to his mum, or he never forgets what he done to him. Do you get what I mean? You're getting weak, you know. When I
would like to speak a little bit about the kids, the men who was children who was traumatised for whatever's happened to them in their young life, and it's affected them all their life.
Well, we were talking about, you were saying that things that we don't talk about, that we should always, there's a strict code, but there's certain things that we'll feel that we should be able to talk about,
what is certain crimes and certain.
I'm going to start an organisation called Don't Turn a Blind Eye, right? And what that is basically it's going to tell people that it's not. There's no such thing as grassing a sex offender. That doesn't exist. Grassing and sex offenders or sexual crimes against you as a child or when you're young. It's not grassing by reporting it. It's the one thing where it's not like criminal. Criminals and there's different kettles of fish with criminality. So you've got to remind yourself, they build prisons now for sex offenders exclusively. So they're not criminals, and they're sex criminals, right? So I think that there's a lot of people, my partner, when she was younger, she was with a middle-aged man, and she was being told it's grassy if you tell the police that I'm sleeping with you, it's not harassing. Clearly not, is it? If you've been assaulted or raped or abused, or you're going through abuse now, you must tell, because if you don't, who's going to tell? It's going to carry on. It's going to be another victim. Maybe your friend's going to be a victim, or another member of your family, or anything else. It doesn't matter who it is. I was around a lot of working girls when I was growing up, because my estate's right near the city centre, so it's. And I learned a lot of them girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you feel like you had a connection with them girls, and did you feel like? I hear it in a lot of rap songs, like, you know what I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I've heard these little things, like even though she's on the street, she's got like she's proper.
So I was around a lot of working girls. If you're on the street robber and you take someone's wedding ring and wallet, he can't go home to his wife and say, "I've just lost my ring." Where's your wallet then? So where's your ring? You've been robbed. You're just gonna have to report. You had no choice. And this girl, working girl, said to me years ago, "Don't take the wedding rings, Marv, and don't take the wallet. Just take the money out of it and give it them back." This was before credit cards. Protect her as well. You can't be doing robberies on air tonight. You know, your bangers and the police are mithering me, so they're gonna mither you, you know. And I'd like pretend to be police. I'd have a mobile phone when he was brand new, and I'd go, "I'm police." Down these dark tunnels on the railway station. I'd punt her half drunk, and I'd just say, "Give your money and I'll let you go," and then get the money and 80 quid and just get off, you know, go and spend it. I learned a lot of the streets off them girls, you know, because they're very wise, aren't they? And a lot of them go through hell.
Shrewd as well.
They're traumatised. A lot of them have been through hell. I mean, I used to meet a lot of young runaways on the street and stuff who were only teenagers, and they've run away, and you think that they're living this big life as adults, and you can't. You grow up too quickly, you know, you come down, don't you? There's got to be a time when you crash, you know? I really, really want kids, though, to, like, just be aware of, like, predators in their life who are using them for whatever purpose. You've got to report it. It's a must. I promise you it will stop. It won't continue. You know what I mean?
We need people to stop, women to stop. I don't know, it's like a lot of women that cry wolf, in it. Like, it makes it bad for the women that really are going through it. Do you get what I mean?
I'll tell you something about crying wolf, right? My girls taught me a lot about stuff like that, and it's not many women who will cry wolf, you know, when you think about it. If a woman's brave enough to go to the police and tell something's happened, obviously these women who are mentally ill and mentally unstable and will, obviously it's happened in the past, so we know there's examples of it in there. It's very, very small. Because rape conviction,
you're right, you've got a point.
You know, rape, a reported rape, only 1% from the start is only conviction in 1%. From someone reporting it to a conviction, 1%.
So that in itself is going to put women off reporting.
That puts women off, So my partner talks about that a lot, that you've got to be the one brave enough to stand up and do it. And she gets messages of girls who say, "I've just watched your podcast and I've just come out of the police station and reported my attack on." And it's so empowering, you know what I mean? And it's the right thing to do, you know, and I really, really think it is the right thing to do.
That's a good message, that youngsters and kids should know that it isn't snitching when it comes to sexual deviancy and shit like that.
Personally in your space, touching your privates, because listen, your private parts are private. They are for you and you only, okay?
Maybe that's a conversation that parents can have with the kids at an early age about where it's appropriate to touch them and whatnot.
That's it, that. I mean...
Well, don't you think that the world is, it's
very sexualised already at a young age.
Kids talking about WAP and all this stuff. And
you know what, I don't know about blaming rap for
not rap.
A lot of stuff.
I'll disagree with you all from the start there. I think the rap, the stuff what comes out in the rap songs from young women to young girls is just awful.
I think that we're too easy to sell ourselves down the river.
That's a good one.
They know what they're doing. They're promoting it through us. They know what's certain. Not all of us, but they're promoting it through us. And they're getting blinded by the money or whatever else. So where do you draw the line? Do you get what I mean?
Where's the responsibility with the parent? Do you think the responsibility is with the parent? Which it is, of course, the responsibility is with the parent.
What do you mean?
Like to
protect them in a way.
I'm blaming songs. I'm saying if you've got a woman who's smashing it and she's saying and it's all about her body and it's all about everything she's got and how many guys she's done this with and that with. And then a young girl thinks that's a good song and they're dancing to it and the mum's there dancing along with it and
we can talk about all of these things. There's just so much things we've got. Talked about OnlyFans.
Can you blame music?
You've got the porn. You've got porn.
Porn's easy, accessible.
That's another horrendous thing.
I mean, the only time I see anything like that was like probably magazines down there. How do you get on me, bro?
You know what's funny? Like I met a girl who used to make people aware of like girls who are in the industry, how suffering they do that. And I never thought about it, but now I can't look at porn again in the same way. Because like if you think that girl who sat in that video for one clip, she's probably been there 3 hours to get this perfect shot. She's been there in the same position for 3 hours or something like that. Just that alone just knocks me out.
You got young lads as well, and they're watching this.
Well, that's what they do. Watch porn, that's
it. You think it's all right?
Streets, aren't you? And then the young
violent as well.
Because all the guys are doing this. The young girls are accepting this.
There's a bit of a noise in the background, so if it's anything, then you can hear anything. It's just because next door's playing. I think they're doing exercises, isn't it? So sorry, but so just in case.
No, I could actually hear that as well.
So we apologise, but go on. Sorry, lad. Sorry.
No, that's all I'm just saying. Yeah, you got and then if the girls are getting this off all the lads of a certain age or generation,
the lads are getting believing that at a certain age.
They're all believing it, so it becomes normal. They're normalising it. It's that whole thing of normalising it.
Like, when we were going younger, like girls used to be like, I don't know, it's just easy. How are you staying out? Like, well, my friends just told me I'm staying out. Like, you know what we're saying? I'm staying at theirs and they're staying. I'm staying at. I don't know how they've done it, man. But times have changed. It's just crazy, brother.
Yeah, and times have changed now, though. And while we're talking about them, times have changed with cocaine, powder, and stuff like that. How accessible it is now, and how normal it is. I want to really make a point of talking about that because it's very important that the kids know that powder is very, very dangerous. The cocaine is an extremely dangerous drug, and it's very, very accessible at the moment, right? And once you have a taste for that, it'll stick in your mind like a glue. You won't forget it, and then maybe 2 weeks later you'll try it again, and before you know it, you're trying it every week, before you know it, you're doing it every day, before you know it, you're normalising, taking it to normalise yourself, and that's when you become a full-blown addict. And I've seen it happen with different types of drugs over the years. And it clearly happens with cocaine as well. And the next level to cocaine is when there's no cocaine left, and there's only free-base cocaine, which is crack cocaine, and it's very, very close to cocaine. And I've even had cocaine powder in front of me, and I've told the people who are using it that's crack, and they went, no, it's not. And I went, I'll put a lighter to it, and if it melts, it just means it's been free-based and it's crack cocaine.
Well, can you do that though?
Well, of course you can. That's what I just explained to you.
Well, you can, because we know you can snort cocaine before it's been washed up, but once it's been washed up, I think you're asking, can it be broken back down to a powder?
So I know crack dealers, right? I know crack dealers in Manchester City Centre, and I used to buy crack. Who also sell cocaine powder to the party people. And literally, all they do is someone ask them for the gram,
so
get a piece of crack out and they crush the crack on the wall and just put it in a snapback and just sell it as powder. The reason how you can tell is if you put a lighter to it and it melts, it means it's been free-based. That means it's crack cocaine. There's no one, once it's cracked, there's no one turning it back to no cocaine. It's staying as crack cocaine forever, do you know what I mean? And it's extremely addictive.
You were saying something, we were touching up on something about there's people now that we used to fight with, that you're saying that there's people that are normal class working people that are probably doing things like that. I've heard from people I've heard from in the grapevine, I've heard people that
there's people who do it at work now, and it's just very, very normal.
A lot of the time it has come from them taking the coke at first, the sniff at first. And then the next thing, like you said, they're looking for something a bit stronger, a little bit more of a kick.
They're in extremely territory, they're in dangerous waters, aren't they, straight away.
So we thought this was just like mostly crack was like an 80s drug, didn't we? Early 90s.
Very much not, though. It's not. It's still there, it's still relevant. I mean, a lot of cocaine, like you just said.
Cocaine's mad relevant now.
Right, so a lot of people who take cocaine secretly can't get off on the powder anymore, snorting it. You know about smoking it. And a lot of dealers will get you onto it as well.
Intentionally, like get them onto it.
Well, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't you want? If you're a drug dealer,
business minded.
If you're a drug dealer and you want him on your line, why wouldn't you give him a go of crack and say, I try this instead of the powder? It's much better, stronger, bang. Before you know it, you've got a working man on your line and he's destroying his life by you spending all of his wages on crack cocaine. And I've known it to happen because I've stood on them streets out there like we have.
And also, I think we've all seen as well, we've seen the drugs destroy lives, we've seen the drugs where someone's we've seen the drop in
especially in where you're from, you guys are from. I mean, this side. I'm kind of heartbroken for many people who've lost family members through drug related.
Well, my dad's
heartbreaking.
My dad took drugs, do you get what I mean? And I had to deal with that for years, do you get what I mean? And like I told you before, like, you know what I'm saying, I was having problems in school, not to take anything away from him, but like, it was like, you know, I was something happens at school, innit? And like I said to him, yo man, like, I need your help in it. And like,
he wasn't there for he wasn't
he was saying, you know, I'm going to be there, you know, I'm going to be that person, this person, that person. When I came to, I was telling all my friends, you get what I mean, like, yo, my dad's going to back. When I was in the school time, right there, do you get what I mean? And that's when it's so.
You know what? My son as well. When I think back to me, when I was a drug addict, and I was saying to me, going to my son, he was at my adoptive mum and dad's house on a weekend. He'd stay on a weekend, and I'd be like that to him. I won't go back to jail again, son. I'm going to stay out for you and all that, and get a flat, and you can come. Before you know it, I was back in jail. So I feel like I can look back at me and what you went through. I like feel for you because you're like my son. You're going through that.
Did you know you were giving him empty promises at the time as well, or did
I had all the intentions in the world.
Yeah,
like my adoptive mum when she was dying of cancer on the phone, I literally said to her mum, I won't do this forever. I won't be an addict forever, and I meant it, bro, but I just couldn't stop. I just didn't have the means and the ways.
Yeah, like my dad, I was pissed off with my dad for years and years and years. You got
rightly you was.
So this is the issue. One time now, I think me and you, just me and you, and so I think there's another person there anyway. So anyway, he's coming out to me for drugs, and I'm like, Ras, fucking drugs. You've pissed me off, and I've had to go and fucking get in this damn knife because of this shit. So anyway, there was something put down. Do you get what I mean? So I thought, right, fucking asking me for drugs. I picked you up, man. You know what I mean? I'm saying,
you might have done
in anger.
Done so stupid, you get what I mean? And like, man, flipping. It was just like the anger of what I was everything. Like, oh my, I'm a big man now. I've had to become this. But obviously, my dad died, and I always regret. You know, he had his good side too. You get what I mean? And I found
every addict has got a good side, bro. It's just that I found out a lot. Turn him into a monster, don't they?
I found out a lot when he died. You get what I mean? Behind of why he might. I'm not going to go into it or why he might have. You get what I mean? I kind of touched up on it with you.
Yeah. Well, I'll explain something to you, man. Right? I just told you about people tend to use drugs. They've had trauma in their lives. Addicts tend to have had trauma in their lives, right? So my dad, you're talking about your dad. My dad's dead. Got stabbed to death. He'd been compensated for being abused in a home. Right, and in this home there was an inquiry, and he killed children in this home. His kids had been raped.
Well, it was just Manchester, London
side, So there was a big inquiry into this children's home. Called Shirley Oaks. Called Shirley Oaks. It was. It was like it come out that in the 80s there was all these paedophiles. I've read it. It's an horrendous report. And they killed children in there. There was kids. There was a kid whose sister said after he got raped, he never spoke another word. 3 months later, he was found dead in the communal bath in the bathing area that he hung himself. No, he didn't. What all the kids knew was the paedophiles was taking the kids out of bed, raping them, putting them in the bathroom and killing them, hanging them and climbing out of this window, what locked from the outside, and they climb out and just the police would come to take the kid away. And
so it wasn't people from inside the place?
Yeah, the people who worked in the care
home. So were they held accountable for in the end?
Some of them wasn't, some of them got, well, one of the men got off with murdering a child. One of the men, they want enough evidence to convict him of murdering one of the children. But like I say, my dad was given £180,000 compensation. And he used it to kill himself. He was dead after that. After he smoked all that money, he was dead. He'd met me, he knew about me, right? My dad said to me when I met him, you know, he said, son, it's fucking God, I never brought you to London with me anyway, you'd be fucking dead. And I went, why, Dad? And he went, there was a baby in a cot, we was all in an house. And there was a baby in a cot, and he went like this with his hand, and he went, picked the baby up, the baby was blue. He told me that story himself, right? What he didn't tell me, bro, was that was my little brother.
Oh, no.
That was my brother, bro. Because I only found out recently, since I found out he's been killed, that it was my brother that he found dead. No wonder he said to me, it's a good thing you never came to London with me because you'd have been dead. And he meant it, bro, because he found my little brother dead. You know? First ever meeting with me. Valiant Blues.
Yeah.
So he's doing a deal for blues. So he's like, yeah, when I get down, I'll give you them 60 blues. And can you get me, Sean? Can you get me this? And he's talking about this parcel. Can you get me this parcel on the phone? Yeah. And me just out, I have nothing else to say to him. I can't think of anything to say to him. Our conversation, I say to him, oh, you can buy them tablets on Berry New Road. You can buy them on Berry New Road, them tablets. Fake Valium on Berry New Road. My girl said to me, Marv, don't do it. Yeah. We was due to go down to London to go meet my auntie. And my girl said, don't do it. Don't buy him the tablets, you know. And I got these tablets. And I went and met him. And my auntie's got a big compound next to this big park in London. And we're in this private compound and it's beautiful summer's evening. Didn't even offer me a penny for him, just went, oh, nice one, Basil, thank you very much. Didn't go, yeah, here's the money, just nice one. And I just sat there thinking, wow, he's just ruthless, you, man, you're ruthless, you know what I mean? Yeah, just all. So only like giving me 20 quid back for the tablet, you can't even give me that. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's never done anything for me, you can't give me the score back for the tablet. I just thought, this guy's ruthless. So next salute, he gets up and he goes in the bathroom. He's there, gone there 10 minutes, you can chew him. Like, he's must have had at 10 or something, drink. He's come out, he's like kind of swaying already. And he sat down in front of me and my girlfriend and he starts going, yeah, I used to be a company when I was younger. I used to be a cunt. I used to put guns to girls' heads and force them to take heroin. I used to put guns to girls' heads and put them on the game. And he sat there telling me and my girl this shit, man, and I'm thinking, mate, you're my dad. What did you do to my mum then?
So what did you do after that with your dad? Did you keep him?
I kept him a distance. Because why I kept him a distance? Because my mum didn't name him on the page as work. When the probation asked who he was, she gave a different name. She said his name was Martin and he was a musician at 20. He came along when I met my birth aunties. They had his number from my mum's funeral. And he straight away was claiming to me, my dad, Jerry's, I'm his dad. And when he came, he looked like me, to be fair, you know what I'm saying?
It's not, it does, like we always talk about now, like negativity from a young age, and it just sounds like you've just had been. Was there anything positive? Was your mum, was your adopted mum positive in your life? She seemed to be a bit more fun.
Yeah, she was lovely. Yeah, she always had an eye out for me, you know what I mean? She always a lost little boy, you know? Okay. Do you know, man, from my teenage years, I was getting arrested. I got nicked for a robbery in town, a street robbery when I was 13, convicted at 14 for street robbery.
Moving forward, Marvin, because I don't want to keep you in this dark place and feel like we've got to end it in there because I don't feel right. Like I said to you, like we feel like the well-being people.
No, there's a lot of changes, good things what have happened, you know.
So like moving forward, how's life for you now? How do you feel
Life's
now?
Good now, man.
Like, you see that you're in a good place. You know,
man, I've had, you know, a lot.
You've lived the life and you've learned the lesson, innit?
Conquered your dreams,
innit?
Definitely done that. I don't strive to take drugs to clear anything up anymore. I remember it was in Wales in Inlet, and he used to go round that bang up and say, "You got any bread, lads? You got any bread? You got any bread? You got any bread?"
That was you, that guy.
That was I was that guy. I'd get like 12 pieces of bread. I was like a monster. My neck was out here, you know what I mean? I was a massive, And then like this screw said to me one day, "You're a comfy eater, you." So he said to me, I didn't even know, I've never heard of the phrase in my life. He went, "You're a comfy eater." I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "You're missing something in your life." And then I knew what he meant. Because I was, man. I just sat there and eat bread for you.
Even with me, like my grandparents took after me. My mum never looked after me. My mum's African, Liberian. She never really. Even when I try and ask for questions now, like it's just all cloak and dagger, and I'm trying to stop trying to get answers and trying to get
it's a shame.
Just think to yourself.
Well, my sister was the same. She got told that she was never wanted as a baby. When I was growing up, her story was you was never wanted. Your mum wanted her to be a nurse before she wanted you. She gave you up. And it traumatised my adopted sister that I had. By the time I'm 3, she's 8. You know, she's a big girl. You know, and it was always a bit. And like she used to wrap me up and play fight me and all that and make tickle me till I cried and shit like that. But she was going through a traumatic time herself and she had a baby at 16, pregnant, dead young, and then just went out clubbing, left the baby at my mum and dad's house. they raised her, and she just went to clubbing and got in violent relationship after violent relationship after relationship after relationship.
It's a thing, in it. So it's a thing that you have to bring them change in it.
And she, in the end, she was dead, sat upright in a settee, dead in her house.
Was that overdose?
It's like
off the medication my dad was giving her. My adopted dad, and I done told her, stop giving her the medication. It pissed me off. She took 7 boxes of these 12 tablets, what was extremely strong. And I knew they was in the cupboard for months, these 7 boxes, because my dad had been getting them for years and not taking them. So we had 35 boxes in the cupboard. And I knew there was 7 boxes in there. One day I opened the cupboard, I went, where's them boxes? He went, your sister took a phone and went, I'll tell you something now. Every one of them boxes, now you better peel. This is my last ever conversation with my sister, my last ever one. I said, them boxes you just took from my dad's house, you better take these stickers off him, his name off the box, the front description. Because when you get found dead on a bus, my dad will get charged up because that's him supplying you. And that was our last argument. And I put the phone down. I said to me, Dad, do you know you're supplying Marie drugs? You were so anti-drugs, you disowned me from when I was 17 to fucking 37, more or less. Tramadol. Very, very, very strong. My sister would sit there, smacked out of her head, falling asleep, sweating her back out. And she used to take handfuls of them because she had them all off my dad. And then a couple of months later, she was dead. Found dead upright in her house.
So, just seen little bits of your book and that. And
I got shot and that. All of that, man, Went through the wars in the ghetto for drugs.
You've been through the wars. What was your turning point? What made you, when did you think?
I'll tell you what my turning point was. I realised that I was wanted in this world because I never felt worthy to walk around on this earth, right? And I met my partner, right? And I met my partner, she was going through a horrendous time herself. She was with a guy who put his sister on the game, and I seen her on New Year's Eve, and I said, what are you doing with her? You better leave her alone. And fast forward, I've been with her 18 years. I used to say, I love crack, I don't want to get clean. I'd never introduce it to her, I'd always have it not in the house, you know what I mean? And
disrespectful.
And I'd hide my crack pipe outside in the bushes and go out and smoke it in the bushes and the company, you know what I mean? There's respect thing, And then she was saying to me, you know what, man, you are worthy. You know what I mean? You're worthy, you are a person. You can do this. And here's what's very important, I've got to tell everyone this. You can change the flick of a switch.
Well, that's what I'd say. What would you say to a youngster struggling with drugs or
you can stop straight away. This is what I'd say. I'd say you don't need a guru, you don't need a God, you don't need anyone to tell you that you've got the tools and the minerals yourself to change. Let's get it right. You don't need a drug worker to say to you, oh, come on, lad, you can do this.
Have you got to be ready to do it, though? You've got to be ready to do it, sure.
No, you just want to do it. You just want to do it. There's no readiness to it. You're ready all the time. Your next breath, you're ready to stop. Listen, I had a girl come up to me one day and said, after watching your story, I've not took another drug since. And it was 3 weeks she'd watched it, and she's come up to me and given me a big old tiny girl. I said, I've not touched a drug since. So you can do it straight away. If you're sat there, like, look, I went through a hell of a time growing up, and this bad traumatic time, and I've got PTSD, I have got stuff going on, I wake up in the morning, soaking wet, like I have these mad sweat attacks through the spice. Never ever went away from the spice, just start cooking, all the clothes are soaking wet. I couldn't do that in a workplace, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be suitable, talking all of a sudden you're just soaking wet, like, it just doesn't make sense, does it? Like these mad daily panic attacks and stuff like that. So, I still suffer from the drug use and the abuse and stuff like that. But you've got to stay mentally strong and prepared and say to yourself, look, you've got this and you can change. You can become that other person, whatever your person you want to be. You've just got to tell yourself that you are ready to do it and you want to do it. You know what I mean? Readiness is always there. You're always ready. Flick of the switch, man, you can change. So I started trying to go to Narcotics Anonymous. It's good for some people. I was smoking crack in the toilets.
Because surely there's different ways what might work for one person. For another.
So some people in NA are insistent that you need NA to get clean. You don't need NA to get clean. You need yourself. You've got the tools and minerals yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
And I'm going to just say this again because I think it's just about. I think we've all been in a lot of like these underprivileged areas, a lot of youths have grown up with this negative root planted in their head.
And feel undervalued, don't they?
Undervalued,
and I'd like to say to them kids, you know what? You can become anything you want to be.
You got to chop them roots, them bad roots, and
forget all that.
Fresh tree.
Don't look up to a drug dealer as the main man.
Believe in yourself.
Because that main man you're looking up to, you won't be there in 5
yourself,
years' time.
Mate,
your own way, but you know what? You've got to do know that you've got the tools yourself to do it. It's very important that you don't need any help of anyone else. You do it yourself.
Just through being born in a certain situation and getting through it, that should show them they've got enough strength to persevere and get through whatever life's got.
This far.
So I learned this very young, that we all got this protective bubble around us. We have, and it's our protective space. It's like our energy space, what we've got, and you keep that primed and ready and content. And if you don't have to let anything in what you don't want to let in,
That's true,
you can just reject it and you can just dismiss it, right? So you don't have to believe everything you hear, you make your own mind up, you know what I mean? That's how you become a grown up and stuff.
Like we've supported you today. Now we had a good talk. It's been a bit of like
we could have a part 2.
No man, we've not even finished yet. We've got loads of things to talk about.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the start yet, have we?
We haven't really, man.
We've kind of just got talking, but like it's a good conversation.
It's a good introduction, isn't it?
Yeah. No man, we're gonna get you more on the show, brother.
And we'll come back and talk some more.
This is the book. Like anyone who wants to get it,
and it's available in book form, and you can listen to it. And it's on Apple and it's on Kindle, so it's on.
Before we forget, I'm gonna hand over the mic to you, and the mic, I know it's not here. I gave you this book. Just like what on a closing note, what last thing would you want to say before we finish the show?
I want to say that there's no such thing as informing on someone who touches you privately. You've got your space, and that is for you and you alone. And anyone who's touching and entering that space unannounced or you don't want them to, you can report them. You tell a different adult and watch what happens. And I want kids to know that it's not grassing. There's no such thing as grassing a sex offender. They build prisons for them. Right? I'll be frank with you, when a sex offender used to come on my wing and we'd find out, we'd beat them up and throw them off.
That's what happens.
We'd get hurt. It's just a standard.
That's why they're building their own jail, isn't
That's why they build their own prisons for them.
Forget all that.
So I just want to urge children.
I can see you're passionate about it,
I'm
Marvin.
so passionate about that because I felt that I had to keep the secret. That's wrong. Why should you have to feel like you're the victim, so you shouldn't let it burn you inside? You shouldn't have to be on carrying this burning, horrible feeling that you was abused, but you've got to keep it a secret. You've got this secret. That's what burns you up. That's why people use things to try and stop that overtaking the mind.
Heroin, is it? Yeah.
Anything you're going to use you're going to find the nearest crutch and grab onto it to stop it consuming your mind, aren't you? You know what I mean? It's very important, and I just want the kids to know as well to stay away from the cocaine, man. Like we used to get told, don't touch the crack, but I didn't even know what that meant, you know what I mean? But like I tell you, don't touch the coke.
And you're like
very experienced about cocaine. Don't touch the coke, man.
Even like on a note, before we close, like even girls, like some guys love to get girls and control them through the drugs. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of aspects. But Marvin, we've got a lot. We're gonna have your thought.
But on the other flip side to that, there's a lot of men out there who start partying with party girls, and then
they end up like that.
So basically, the moral to that story there is, bro, is if you're with a partner and you both like something, you're no good for each other. One of you has got to be able to say no.
Yeah, that's it.
One of you has got to be.
There's a thing called co-using, and if you co-using it, you're both using the same drug. You're
both enjoying it, and no one's
going to say no. It's going
to be a roller coaster.
Yeah, even with the alcohol in it, and it gets violent with the alcohol, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Even the alcohol. I tell people to be careful on the alcohol as well, because that's going to be very dangerous. The alcohol as well, and you can end up in a lot of predicaments where you didn't want to be in.
Oh, it's messed up, man.
I did it. How crazy that drug is.
But you see, sorry, I know we're running out of time here. But it's like the crime goes down when alcohol in countries where legal's been made, where weed has been made legal. The crime rate falls because people are smoking weed rather than drinking liquor. And then sometimes you get in liquor companies thinking the governments, you know, to
lobbying
the governments to make the weed illegal again.
That's happened a lot.
Even like when you've got weed in jail, man, like, the whole
Just
place is
chilled
quiet,
out,
everyone's chilled with it. See, there's no weed like that. Must have no weed.
I've missed the spice.
Look how quiet it is with the weed, but look about when a big bottle of hooch comes out of violence.
I'm gonna say, man, when the hooch is on.
I've just seen man throw it up and all that though. I've just said it just like it's popped in it. But this is a whole other story. But you know,
there's many stories we're gonna go down.
Man, we're gonna. I'm just like the support, supporting us. If we can support you in any way, brother, this is just a start.
Man, all day, man. I'm here all day for you guys.
Nice one for coming on, man. Enough respect, yeah. Respect, man.
Very much,
yeah, safe, man. And definitely come back on, man.
What's your favourite word that you like to say, bro?
Which one? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And tell us what you think in the comments, man, about drug use and
anyone who's got a good story to tell, man. Anyone's got a story and a positive story to tell. You know what I mean?
We've got many more things to talk about.
Man, definitely, haven't we?
I feel like we
make sure you get the book, man. It's a good read. I've read snippets. I'm gonna have to get through the whole thing.
Like 4.7 out of 5 on Amazon. You know what I mean? It's got great reviews. When people read it, it affects them. I had a probation officer read it, and she said it should be in every single probation office in the UK. Like it needs to be read off people, or kind of like used and how to get it. Changes in every one of us, isn't it?
It is definitely.
But that's because Winston wants to go over and do the father thing. So man,
that's a wrap.
Man,
respect your man.
That's us respecting the surface, man.